QuickTime events have sort of become a thing of the past at this point. While once they were found in games ubiquitously, now they're rarely often used by developers. Of course, every once in a while we do encounter QTEs in games, which is always something of a blast from the past, especially when they're properly executed, which, as we all know, is easier said than done with QTEs. In this feature, that's exactly what we'll be looking at, as we list out some of our favorite QTEs from recent games, or, relatively recent at any rate. Karaoke in Yakuza 0. Anyone who's spent a decent amount of time with Yakuza 0, or most Yakuza games really, has most likely given its karaoke minigame a go as well. A rhythm game in all but name, these visits to karaoke are always a blast. Regardless of which difficulty you pick or even which song you pick, developer Ryuga Gotoku Studio has a talent for musical timing in QTEs, so much so that we'd almost like to see them make an entire rhythm game. Chases in Shenmue 3. When you think of QuickTime events, you can't help but think of Shenmue. The classic Sega franchise was one of the franchises that were mostly commonly associated with QTEs back in the day, owing to how abundantly and how well it made use of them. That's very much the case in Shenmue 3 as well, and especially where its chase sequences are concerned. Those QTEs remain as fun as ever. Of course, it helps that failing those QTEs and watching Ryo bumbling about like an idiot is fun in its own right as well.
Are you okay?
Dancing in Lost Judgment. You spend a healthy chunk of Lost Judgment running about a high school and participating in extracurricular activities with various clubs. Without a doubt, one of the most enjoyable of those is dancing. Learning new songs, perfecting those dances, performing them on the stage, and taking your dance team through the ranks and straight to the finals is an absolute blast. Hell, even if you're just practicing the same song again and again in the gym, you can't help but do it with a smile on your face. Poseidon finisher, God of War 3. God of War as a series has always been very fond of QTEs, and better yet, it's always been very good at them, though the 2018 game did do away with them. God of War 3 in particular had more than its fair share of amazing QuickTime events. But one of the ones that stands out in memory the most is the one that sees Kratos brutally finishing Poseidon off. Not only is it appropriately brutal, epic, and cinematic, it also involves Kratos punching Poseidon to a bloody pulp. You can just keep mashing that square button, and in theory, if you never stop, Kratos will just keep punching him in the face until the end of time. Don't move until dawn. All of Until Dawn, owing to its very nature, is bursting at the seams with QuickTime events, so we could have populated this entire list with moments from that game. Instead, we decided to shout out its incredible don't move sequences. Technically, they're the exact opposite of what a QuickTime event should be. You literally have to do nothing. But the way Until Dawn uses them is nothing short of ingenious. It's so simple, yet so effective. Every single time it pops up, the tension that the game injects, every time it tells you to stay as still as you can, is worth commending, though of course there are very easy and obvious ways to cheese these moments, but let's not get into that. Killing Kai Leng, Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 2 and 3's Renegade prompts are some of the best moments in the entire series. Again, we could populate the entire list with just those. They're bite-sized QTEs, encompassing single button presses most of the time and serving as interactive cinematic flashes more than anything else. But when they work very well. Take Kai Leng's death for example. He's built up throughout Mass Effect 3 as a villain you absolutely love to hate. By the time Shepard faces off against him towards the end of the game, you're just itching to put this guy down. So, seeing him get stabbed by Shepard just as he's attempting to sneak up on the commander is easily one of the game's most badass moments. Preventing the helicopter crash, Marvel Spider-Man.
Hi! Is this the flight to Newark?
Marvel's Spider-Man had plenty of QuickTime events, which honestly was a little surprising for a game coming out in 2018. We're not complaining though because thankfully it pulled off those QTEs quite well. The best of the lot was easily the helicopter crash, or to be more specific, Spider-Man preventing a deadly helicopter crash. Not only was it a very quintessential Spidey sequence, it was also thrilling both from a visuals and gameplay perspective. We loved it when Insomniac first showed it off at E3 2018, and we loved it when we got to play through it ourselves.
Please don't screw this up!
Metal Gear Ray boss fight, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Not only is Metal Gear Rising one of the best character action games ever made, it's also one of the best Platinum Games developed titles of all time. And while a lot of that is down to its incredible combat system, the game shines in other areas as well. Its QTEs, for instance, are appropriately flashy, over the top, and simply put, bonkers. Raiden's face-off against Metal Gear Ray, for instance, sees him thrashing it in more ways than one, from clashing swords with it, then literally sending it swinging through the air, despite being tiny compared to it, and slicing it in half. Being able to take part in that through perfectly executed QTEs makes for one of the game's most memorable sequences. Connor's fight in Jericho, Detroit Become Human. Like the aforementioned supermassive games, and of course Quantic Dream's own previous titles, Detroit Become Human is built around QuickTime events, and there's no shortage of some truly excellent ones throughout its runtime. Connor generally has the ones that demand the most engagement and active participation, like the fight he gets involved in when he finds himself inside Jericho. It's a sequence that's not only very well cinematized, it's also a blast to play and of course also serves as a crucial turning point for the story. For all of the game's issues, and there are many, that sequence, at least, deserves unreserved praise. That's all for now. If you enjoy what you saw, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, now is a great time to subscribe. We upload brand new videos every single day. After subscribing, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time, right here on Gaming Bolt.